Hi, my name's Jason Fernandes. I play Josh Lahey in the QB Bad Boy and Me, and this is Young Entertainment.
We here at Young Entertainment are all about masterclass moments and just learning from the stars in the field, such as yourself. Stars in the field, no pun intended, with the football movie. A lot of our questions will literally be about like the process of the making of the movie and everything like that. Just curious, let's start at the beginning with it. What was your audition process like for Sidelined, the QB and Me? And do you remember where you were when you found out that you got the role?
It was interesting. When I had seen the breakdown, I saw that Noah Beck was attached to it, who was a very big name. And so I was like, wow, there's gonna be a lot of people going out for this. I'm just gonna give it my all, do my own type of thing, and how I see the role being played, and throw it out there into universe, see what happens. And I think this was around like beginning of May or April, excuse me. And then heard nothing back, was living my best life. And I came down to Los Angeles with my girlfriend, and my agent calls me and said, "Oh, like they want to call you back and do a callback." I said, "Okay, great, but I'm not in my setup. Like I don't know anybody in Los Angeles for the most part." So, I mean, luckily in this day and age, I went online. You could rent out a studio, and rented out some studio, and I got a whole setup going. Super excited. The lines were the exact same. The script was still the same as the audition that I'd previously done. I was so nervous. I was freaking out. My girlfriend was helping me do the lines, and I saw the director Justin Wu, who's a really good friend of mine now, Adam Westcott, McKenna Marshall, many other people that I grew to know really well now. And we did the scene. They sent me one redirection, and I I did it, and they were asking me a couple questions about like my height and kind of if I played football before. I did, but wasn't that big of a guy in football. Uh, I was kind of like 5 feet tall in eighth grade with like a big mushroom cut. So I don't know if football was really my thing. So I played like 1 year and kind of quit, stuck with soccer, which is mostly my thing. Um, and then so yeah, I was like just kind of waiting, and I think 2 weeks later, my agent called me. I was at Joey's, which is a restaurant in Vancouver, and she's like, "Yeah, they want to book you for the role." And I was like, "Can I call you back?" And have a moment for myself, just to process what was really going on. Super exciting because it was something I was really interested in, and just really lucky I got to work on it with all these great people.
That's so awesome. What a whirlwind of a process, but pretty neat that it all worked out, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So obviously, like I was gonna ask you, was football part of the audition process? But you kind of mentioned was it as simple as just them asking you like, "Hey, do you have any like football experience?" Or did you have to like send in like a reel of you trying to play football? Like, was there anything going on in it?
See, I don't know if we'd be here talking if I had this in a reel of me playing football. But I mean, I can get by. I mean, like in flag football in PE class, my best friend and I we went toe to toe in PE Super Bowl finals. So I think
Wow.
I rate my skills. They're okay. They're passable, but I didn't have to send anything. It was more so like how comfortable am I? And we were lucky. We had a great team. The West Shore Rebels, the local football team on the island. The
Yeah.
guys there are super cool and super helpful. They were the extra football players, and they were always giving us tips to make us look like pros out there. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure as a soccer player, I'm sure you were like, "Oh, why couldn't it be the other football?" You know,
I
like
know, and Noah also plays soccer too. He's really good
right.
at it, so it would have been like perfect. But
Come on. Well, in the future, we'll get a soccer with
we'll
you and
see. We'll
Noah
see
for
for sure.
sure. I love it. What was the first day on set like? And kind of how did you prepare for it? I mean, obviously, like you said, Noah, pretty big name. Obviously, the director, like, there's so many incredible minds on this set. So, what was that kind of like just going in that first day?
Uh, I was just, I mean, the night before every project I have, I kind of lack some sleep just because I'm not sure what's going to go on. It's like the first day of school, right? It's exciting.
Totally.
Am I going to fall flat on my face? Am I going to do okay? Are people going to be friendly? But I was so lucky. I walked into the hair and makeup trailer, and Noah was the first actor that was in there. And he was so friendly, super cool, super kind. We really got to know each other, really got along and bonded because of our love for soccer. And so it was an easy person to talk to. And then I got to see everybody else slowly. And our dad, Noah and I's dad in the movie, James Vanderbeek, is like a perfect reference to learn from in terms of acting. And so it was really cool to see him work and pick his brain for kind of like a lot of tips going forward.
Totally. I was curious, obviously you and Noah, you guys played brothers. So
Mhm.
I was wondering how you guys kind of formed that bond, but it probably happened pretty quick with the joint interest in soccer. Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part. And then like he's just also so open and friendly, and I had a lot of questions about like maybe other creators that he'd work with, and just like,
Mm,
and he was super cool about it. And we spent a lot of time together. I mean, we were out on the island, which is, so
sure.
I was in a hotel, so which is like hour and a half ferry ride, I think, from Vancouver. So we were able to spend a lot of time together and get to know the whole cast, which is really dope.
How important is that kind of like off-screen, chemistry building for I don't know, like how important is that for you as an actor to then when you guys start to, start the cameras, rolling the cameras and stuff, just to have that kind of natural chemistry? How much does that help?
I think I mean, it's night and day in my opinion, because you could really pick up the nuances of somebody, how they speak, and your brain kind of connects like a chemistry and a liking for somebody, and especially being his brother, who is like the rock of the family in a way that is very family oriented and so caring. I think it's super important to kind of put myself in a position like that to make it easier and just flow. Super
I
lucky.
love that. So, heading back to the audition, when you kind of see a character in a breakdown come through and you see like, Josh Lahey, like, is that kind of helpful just like a name alone and just forming a character? Like, are you like, oh, this is something a Josh would do, or I feel like a Josh would stand like this? Like, does the name help you with creating a character at all?
That's a really interesting question. I've never heard a question like that, but it's a great one. And honestly, I never considered that, but it definitely makes a difference. Like a Jordan and I don't know, a Jordan and a Brendan are two different people in my mind.
Right.
And so it definitely helps. It kind of gives you some guidance, and yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, for sure.
Cool. I love it. I mean, there's all of these like little things that I feel like writers do so intentionally. So I
Hmm.
was just wondering, like obviously there's little things in there that
Yeah.
probably help out an actor. So what was your reaction? I mean, you kind of talked about James Vanderbeek being your dad, but what was your reaction when you found out that he was going to? Did you know from the breakdown when you saw Noah was involved, or did you find out later? And kind of how cool was that?
So on the breakdown, it was just Noah and Drew Ray Tanner that were listed as the cast.
Cool.
And so, but it said they were looking for a name actor. So I mean, there's a lot of name actors out there. Uh, but when I found out it was James, I was like over the moon. I mean, Dawson's Creek is a little bit before me, but I'd seen him in so many things. I mean, like How I Met Your Mother is one of my favorite shows, and
Yeah.
he did a guest star on that. And I remember seeing him as a Canadian. Funny enough, he was like kind of playing a over exaggeration on Canadians, and
Yeah.
it was super cool to see. And so I was really excited just to ask him about his career and how he got to where he is, because he's somebody I really admire. And so I was really lucky.
Yeah, it kind of going off of, chatting with like Noah and forming that brotherly bond. Is it kind of the same, or is it obviously it may be like a bit of a different dynamic just because, he's older, he's not like our age where we could just
Mhm.
kind of like just chat about whatever or like pop culture or something like that.
Yeah.
What is it like trying to build that chemistry with someone of his stature and someone older and just in a dad way?
Yeah, it is a little different, but I mean, James is a cool cat. We're talking about the NFL, which he's like a
Yeah.
huge fan of, and so I'm a big sports lover for the most part, almost anything, but like curling or something like that. Sorry to that's out there, but so it was kind of easy. It flowed, but it's also like we don't have to be as close because the father son bond is a little bit different as
Right.
well, especially because I was adopted. My character is adopted.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
uh, and so it's just it's also, yeah, a very similar process to talking with Noah, but yeah, it came pretty easy. He was super easy to talk to.
Awesome. Very interesting.
Mm.
How about what did you and Asia do, who plays Gabby,
Mhm.
outside to kind of build? I mean, that's another dynamic. Is it sort of just having conversations? Is it, kind of breaking down scenes to just form that kind of boyfriend girlfriend relationship? And of course, you have a girlfriend of your own. So, just what is that kind of your whole dynamic like?
Uh, my girlfriend is she's used to it by now. It's all just acting. Aisha is such
Yeah.
a good friend of mine. She's such a cool cat, and we really hit it off as well too. I mean, I'm so lucky that like everyone in this cast got along. This is like one big family. We almost were talking like we wished it was like a series so we could just keep spending more time together. And Asia, yeah, we went for dinner and just had a chat about everything. Acting, the script, and just life, and just got to know each other for like where we were coming from going into the film. So super cool.
That's awesome. I know the film mentioned like that there was a promposal, but they never like showed it in the film. So
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, was there a version of like a promposal that they filmed that just like didn't make it into the movie? Or yeah, you I guess just answer that one first.
A promposal. I'm not too sure. I wasn't there every day, so like there could have been some stuff that was going on. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Maybe they're
Yeah,
keeping me
because
in the
they
dark about that too. I'll have to ask the question
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it made the cutting room floor,
Yeah.
what happened, So, but I'm curious, how do you think Josh would ask Gabby to the prom? Because I know they mentioned it, so I just didn't know if you had to like maybe do that kind of actors research of like
Oh, I
creating
see.
that in
Yeah.
your head.
Well, I think Josh would second guess everything, and so it would take him ages. And after a lot of trial and error, and a lot of sweating, I think he would nervously eventually ask Gabby in a very romantic and beautiful way because I think he's a softie.
He is, he is. I love it. I love you guys' relationships. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you. I really
Uh,
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. You guys is perfectly like it perfectly translated to on screen that
That's
everything
awesome.
that you've been talking about for sure. What's something funny, like do you remember any like bloopers that happened on set? And I don't know, maybe this could happen since you said, you're not the best football player. So I don't know if like
I didn't
any
say
of
that. I
that.
didn't say that. I said,
Yeah.
are you saying that?
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. It didn't come from my mouth. Retake, retake. Uh,
Any bloopers you were saying?
yeah, anything like that just happened on set that you remember of just like, oh my God, that was so funny, or it was so hard to like stay in character or not laugh.
While we were filming, I mean, everyone was just so funny, but in terms of like while we were filming, I don't really have any bloopers, but on set we had the owners of the Lahey house, which is our house, and
Yeah.
I was getting a snack with my friend Josh Zaharia, who plays Chase in the film, and the homeowners came up to me and they're like, "Oh, hey, like nice to meet you. Like you're working our house and all that. Super, very, very friendly, very nice." And they're like, "Our daughters really like they like you and they know who you are. Like, can we get a photo?" And in my head, like I know for sure they're thinking I'm Noah at this point. At this point. But I'm like, you know what? Like,
Oh
I'm
man.
gonna I'm gonna enjoy this moment, and I'm just gonna take a photo. And so I took a photo, like all smiling and stuff. And so I'm sure these parents went back to their daughters and like, look who I got a photo with. And like, mom, dad, like, who is this guy? But
Stop it. Hey, they'll know who you are after the movie, that's for sure.
oh man, so I'm really sorry about that, homeowners. But yeah,
Wait, that's awesome though. And honestly, it's a compliment. Like for you to be mistaken as Noah, I'm
I will
like,
take that exactly. I
yeah,
just not, yeah, definitely
not a
something on it.
bad day on set.
No,
That's
yeah.
that's awesome. Um, what about like off camera? Like we mentioned just the whole building the relationships and stuff like that. But you guys were out on this island and you weren't like super close to home. So is there any moments that you kind of took outside of filming that just like really stuck with you and that you're just like so grateful for, or perhaps you'll take to your next project?
That's a great question. When we weren't super busy, we would do Uno night with
Oh,
director
fun.
Justin Wu. He was the whole director of the whole Uno, and we took it very seriously. Like it was life or death Uno here. And I think one time I was about to be Justin, and he was like, if you drop that +4, I'm taking lines out of
Oh,
your script tomorrow. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna reverse it back to you, and you can drop the +4. I just want to keep my lines going. So, but
that's brutal.
it was super fun. Like we had Uno night all the time, and got to know each other from that. And it was something super cool. Like everyone would come when they could, and
Yeah.
we'd spend a lot of time together playing Uno. But it got heated for
Hey,
sure.
that's really special. And it's good that it got heated. It kind of keeps up the competitive juices to translate onto screen as well.
Absolutely.
Uh, that's great. That's so cool. What a great idea, too. Just something so simple like an Uno night just
Right.
can be such a wonderful, like, team building exercise and like opportunity. So that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
I'm luckily we kept our friendships going, after dropping all these +4s on each other, just getting
Yeah,
that
for
stuff.
real. Did you guys stack? Did you guys stack the +2s or +4 at all,
Yeah, we
or how
tried to
did
like
you?
find like a baseline and like because everyone plays a different way. I just play like if you can stack it up, you can stack it up. Like tough luck, right?
I agree. I'm with you, but I know some people are against that. Big controversy.
Yeah,
Pretty
I'm with
sure
you.
Uno said no, but I
I
don't.
saw
I
that.
don't. Yeah, I'm not listening to Uno, even
I'm with
though
you.
they made it. What was one first that you had on this project? Did you ever have like a while you were going on set, like, oh, I've never done this before, or just a really big learning moment for you?
Very big learning moment. That I mean, it was my first time playing a sport on
Oh, there
screen,
you
so
go.
that was really cool. Like everything else I've been in is kind of just like kind of assumed that I was in a sport or kind of like implied that I was playing sports, but actually like filming something on camera was super cool, super fun.
Yeah.
And I definitely look forward to doing something like that again, for sure.
That's awesome. I always when I watch sports movies, I'm always like, I wonder how they do that. Is it them playing it? Is it editing? Is it another
Right.
team that comes? Like, it's just so fascinating. So to be involved in that, it's got to be pretty neat, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially as a sports fan. What's one thing that you learned from like an actor's perspective, just about the process or maybe approaching a scene? Anything like that that you'll take onto your next role. It could even be like a piece of advice that you got on set.
Trust your instinct.
Mm,
Something it seems like something so like cliche and so simple, but that was something I really asked James for. He was like I said, I was constantly picking his brain because it was a perfect reference, and he was just saying, like trust your first instinct, don't second guess yourself, and what you're feeling in the moment, let that come to fruition.
I love that. Hey, whatever he says, it's like, yes, sir. Like,
Yeah,
God,
I'm not gonna.
if you say jump, I say how high.
Yeah,
So cool.
exactly.
I'll definitely take that one. That's awesome. Very cool. And obviously, Noah is the star of the movie and everything. So he's a big social media star. And I'm just curious, we see in this industry, social media is having such an impact on like careers in the
Right.
entertainment field as like a whole. So just out of curiosity, like how would you advise up and coming actors to use social media in a positive way? And perhaps, how do you even do it in your own acting career?
Well, I would advise people to not follow the way I conduct myself because I'm not good with social media. I'm starting to post more and more, uh, so working on that. But I would advise people to don't post things for other people. Post things for yourself and to have your voice heard, and because that's very important and it matters. But don't try and appease other people. Post what you want just because you enjoy it, and I think the rest will all fall into place as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. It's hard to not get into the whole like comparing and like, oh, I have to post this because this one posted this, and it's so true. You have to just do it for yourself and post what makes you happy, but also like just being yourself. Like that's like
exactly.
the thing you got to do. That's great advice. Thanks for sharing that. If you wanted to find the sideline on like Google, right? How would you describe a way to just like type it in? Like I'm looking for a movie that's blank.
I'm looking for a heartwarming movie that inspires me to follow my dreams.
That's a great answer. I love that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's all the questions I have for you, but if you're cool with it and you have time, can we do like a quick little rapid fire questions?
Do we have to? No, I'm sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Cool, let's do it. So, I gotta ask, this is my favorite one. What
Yep.
was your favorite snack at Crafty?
Nanaimo bars. I'm not sure if this is very well known to the American audience, but Nanaimo bars is this bar. It's like a custardy kind of oat bar with chocolate on top, made in Nanaimo, which is on the island.
Oh,
And so if I really ask you guys to have a look and have a try if you get a chance to go to Canada. And yeah, love that. No.
oh, very cool. I'm intrigued. Who's a celebrity that you would want to work with?
Drew Starkley from Outer Banks. We also have the same birthday, so super cool guy.
Oh, shout out. So do you have a favorite line from a film or a TV show?
Do I have a favorite? I've got a
It's a tough
couple.
one.
It is a tough one. Put me on the spot. Well, I'm gonna butcher it, but it's from The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith and his son, and it goes some
Great
along the lines
movie.
of if you have a dream, don't let anybody discourage you. You got to protect that dream with your whole life, something like that.
I
Beautiful
love
movie.
it. It's such a beautiful movie. I probably cry every time I see it.
I
Holy moly.
know.
Um, Here's one for you. Do you have a song that pumps you up before you like go into an audition or go into a scene or on set or anything?
Uh, do I have a song? I need silence because I'm trying to I'm trying to remember my lines and my like analysis and kind of stay locked in. I'll honestly listen to a little bit of classical music to kind of just keep me in like a flow state, weirdly enough. Um,
Nice.
but after that, I'll like listen to you name it, Drake, 50 Cent, stuff to pump me up. Like I crushed that. Yeah,
Totally, a little celebration
of
music, you
course, of
know?
course.
Okay, okay. Very cool. Do you remember your first like TV show or movie that kind of like inspired you to become an actor that you were like, "Oh yeah, this is what I want to do."
Uh, Interestingly enough, what made me decide to be an actor, I was watching Riverdale, and it was filming right near my house, and it just like sparked something in me. I was like, oh, this is like a super cool show, and it's filmed near my house, and Vancouver's got like quite the thing for it, and so like let me try and take an acting class or two and see what happens, and then had
Wow.
the privilege of working with Ray Tanner from Riverdale most recently. So I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, full circle moment a little bit.
That is awesome. Very,
Yeah,
very cool. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's so cool and congratulations because it's very well deserved. So,
thank you very much. My name is Jason Fernandez. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to Young Entertainment.